And I bring that up in a kid. I mean, he's a 3-year-old kid. It behaves no different than every 3-year-old does. But it's not that different of a principle, even when we think about how we structure a society, how we structure the framing of the challenges that we face every day, even as teenagers or as young adults or as adults of a different age too. I think framing makes all the difference.
What is it that you fear that your children are going to have to deal with that we didn't have to deal with?
I think AI, is a big factor that undoubtedly our kids are going to deal with, that is something of a character that we never had to in the same way, which is not just computers, right? I mean, that's one of the things we dealt with that the prior generation didn't have to deal with. But computers are just, without hyperintelligence or superintelligence, are just responding to what we actually put right back in them. So that's one thing. You could say there's all kinds of dangers from screen time or something else that apply to our generation. But I'm talking about something else, which is the idea of something that emerges that is different than what you fed that computer in the first place.
Of them having their own mind.
Yes, exactly. And then that mind is able to take advantage of you in a way that you don't realize that you're actually being taken advantage of.
Right.
I think that's actually different. It's one thing if it's a human being using an instrument to take advantage of you. It's another if it is actually a being that was programmed by your own very actions, projected back against you to take advantage of your own impulses or your own behaviors that you didn't even know was doing it. I think that's going to be one of the great dangers that we face in the next, or certainly that our kids face in the next 20 years.
I think it's inevitable. I think when I see that, I see, again, I'll bring it back to biblical terms. History repeats itself. God created humans. Humans killed God.
Yes. Yeah, I think.
And so when we create another form of life, I believe that's when they kill us.
Or another form of intelligence. Yeah, exactly.
But even before we jump to the end, all the people that are working the 9-to-5s, all these people that are busting their hearts out, the ones that they're throwing money at because they know that that problem is about to be solved when we replace them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the separation from rich and poor, there'll be no more middle class. And I believe the only reason there was middle class now is to scare, poor before and then middle class is to scare the middle class into going poor. And I think once they remove that, it's going to be the people that are really running this earth and the robots and everybody else's servants. And I think it's going to be at a whole different ballgame.
I think that it's not crazy.